Thank you very much. I'm gonna turn things over to Tim Chris, who's gonna give you a brief overview of their company and the services that they provide. And then we're gonna go ahead and go into our audience Q&A. So if any of you have any questions that you haven't put in, please just add them to the Q&A widget on your console. Tim, I'm gonna turn things over to you.
Thank you, Patty, and just want to say thank you very much to you and your PC360 team, because you guys have put on a phenomenal event here today. And obviously, thanks so much, Jackie and Tori and Darren for agreeing to be a part of it. Absolutely can't thank you enough. I don't know about you guys, in the audience, but I've been pretty well blown away by what they've had to share. And I don't know how I'm exactly supposed to follow all that knowledge, so I may just go ahead and leave now. But no, I think there's really three things I think about when we talk about claims automation. One is, obviously, what are the benefits, right? So for being a longtime insurance guy, let me share a story with y'all. So 20 years ago, I was able to get on the approved vendor panel for State Farm's firework, and they told me that I was going to receive every 8 claim. They said they do a round robin claim assignments, that way they can't be seen as impartial, and that was the way their system was set up to manage claims. It's funny, 20 years later, when I talk to carriers today, I found out that we still do round robin claim assignments. And I'm like, my MBA brain just screams at me like, why have we not gotten any smarter in the last 20 years? And so I don't know if it's education or what, but I'm kind of a process geek where I always look for what's the most efficient, most effective way to do something. And so I just really hate going slowly or being inefficient. It just personally irks me. So when we haven't gotten any smarter in 20 years, I just cringe. So that's what I think about from an automation perspective. Two is, how do we prepare our staff for automation? I think obviously, there's a big talent challenge in the industry too. And part of the problem we've got to have is we've got to make it fast, right? I mean, the younger generation pretty well demands immediate gratification. Obviously, those of us on the panel that have a lot of gray hair, we're okay with a 4-year, 5-year, 8-year transition plan and putting some places, kind of like raising kids, right? It's going to take a while. But a lot of our employees don't have, that long of a lens, and so we just got to try to make it fast. And so I say if we can do things in 60, 90-day sprints, get people excited, keep people energized, that just helps facilitate the process even more. And then three, really, what is the problem that we're solving? A really good friend of mine, Art Kent, who's a property claims manager for farmers down the valley, told me, over and over and over again that the thing that occupies the majority of his time from a claims manager perspective is demand and capacity management. How many claims am I receiving? How many can I expect to receive? And then how many resources do I have available to adjust those particular issues? And so when we think about, watching the weather in California wildfires and whatnot, or last year when we've got 22 separate billion-dollar events, we've got a wildfire, we've got a drought, we've got 7 hurricanes, we've got 13 severe storms that include derecho, which my buddy Ken can never pronounce correctly. But what have we done as an industry to institutionalize those best practices once we manage those events? And unfortunately, what we find when we talk with carriers is that very rarely do we sit down and do a post-mortem to say, okay, well, we did this really, really well, but here's some things we can improve on, and actually build some processes in place to do that better the next time around. And so we simply, every time the cat hits, we reinvent the wheel and just throw more bodies at it. And again, just, being the fact that it's 2021, process geek, and we just cringe it. I just think there's such a better way to do it. And so from the Claimatic perspective, about 5 years ago, we made a discovery that profoundly impacted how claims managers work on a daily basis. We gave them a tool that automated the claim triage and assignment mechanism. And by doing that, it took a lot of work off their plate. Now they don't have the daily load balancing issues, which also created a lot of claim reassignment and friction with the insured, because they've now got this automated tool. They can now see how claims are managing through their system in real time, and they're what I'll call managing the event instead of living in the event. And so many folks, if you're in the management consulting business, we talk a lot about working on your business versus working in your business. The nice thing is that our tools allow claims managers to work on their business for some of them for the first time. And the fun part about what we do, especially for us process geeks, is that the more companies that get on Claimatic, the more we learn continuously about how to make each thing smarter and automatically. So our engineers and claims specialists get to work with machine learning and artificial intelligence, take things to the next level. And ultimately, Claimatic will automatically optimize itself to ensure that claims resources and customer solutions delight both the insurer's bottom line as well as the customer. And so a story that we heard recently from a really good client of ours, they were getting several hundred claims in California. And as they were watching these come in, they noticed a bunch that were fence only. And so because they were able to update their claims rules on the fly and triage and assign these to their virtual team, that one action that took about an hour one morning saved them $25,000 in LAE. And so obviously, 25 grand in the grand scheme of things is not a big number, but when you think about that's one day out of an entire year of a claims cycle, there's a lot of opportunity for improvement. And so for all the claims managers and the claims operations folks that have been stuck in that swivel chair of claims flow that we talk about, I just want you guys to know we heard you. We heard you. We believe in giving you guys better tools and insights to make better decisions that produce better outcomes. And so, Tori, Jackie, Darren, once more, thank you guys so much for coming on the program. Patty, I'd love to turn it back to you because I see we've got a ton of claims or a ton of questions from the audience.
We do. So,